love's for beginners. Ain't no winners, it slips through your fingers. I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna. Promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being who's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future. Know you wanna, she'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being who's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being who's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
Oh my God, have I been speaking all that time without sound? Oh, do you know what, guys? I actually feel like stopping the podcast and starting again because that's a very like long pause at the beginning. Oh God, if you could see my face right now. Oh my God. Guys, should I stop the podcast and start again? Or do you want to leave this in because it's just so funny? Oh, but then I'm gonna have to put timestamps. Oh. Okay, do you know what? We'll leave it in so you can hear first of all the first 7 minutes of complete silence, and then the last 2 minutes of me having a tantrum because I forgot to put my microphone off of mute. Anyway, I was saying, other than all of the welcomes, no Rahini, Piers Morgan has not lost his job. He about to lose his job because of the court case. But this is to do with something else. The tea is a lot more hot today. And what the other commentator was saying about Paula Yates, I was saying when I was muted that I don't know anything about Paula Yates other than I think she was with, I think she was with Geldof, or some really famous guy, and the tabloids did go after her quite a bit. But as I was always also saying when I was on mute, that this is just what the tabloids do. They seem to just want to punish any woman that's attached to a very famous man. It's like, even though the man has chosen her, it's like, oh, the audacity of you to be in this position where you get to enjoy, basically being, next to a very wealthy, powerful man. And apparently that is a crime, never mind that he chose you. Or when a woman is down, they just kick her even more. Today, I saw that Lindsay Lohan announced that she was pregnant. Congratulations to Lindsay Lohan. I had no idea that she had gotten married, that she was back on her feet, and good on her. Because when she was going through a really hard time, through her alcohol addiction, it's like they just wanted to tear her apart even more. They made her the running joke. And it's just so sad. Um, So this is just what they do to women in media. And I thank you for mentioning that truthfully, and I'll check out that documentary if you say that there were some parallels to Meghan and Diana. Right, let's finally get into the podcast now. First things first, for those of you who buy stamps, there's some new editions with Charles's silhouette and some popular flowers from around the United Kingdom. So if you're a stamp collector, stamp buyer, here are your new stamps. I actually quite like these. I think they're quite pretty. Also, I saw this that came up on my feed. Now, first of all, I don't generally comment on royal women's appearance. And women should be allowed to age. I don't like the way that we judge women in media for simply being human. And so I don't really like commenting on the looks of royal women, with the exception of Camilla. Like whatever, with the exception of Camilla. But aside from that, I don't like to do it, and I think it's very unfortunate that Kate Middleton and her people feel the need to airbrush her pictures. And I didn't know that one of the main photographers that photographs her, like her official photographer, is also friends with her stylist. So now it makes sense why certain photos, or the ones by Chris Jackson, who's her main photographer, get airbrushed, and why other photos by other photographers don't. And there's no need for it. Women are allowed to age; it's natural. Um, and yeah, just let women age and let women be. There are um some very very relevant, very very real things that you could criticize Kate Middleton for. I don't see any reason to go after the way she looks, and I don't think it's like okay to create this false illusion. I think it's even better and I think more human to just show her for for how she is. I think people would be able to relate to that a lot more. It's certainly one of the reasons that people relate um to Megan. So please let women age. If anyone in the palace is listening, there's no need to get Chris Jackson to airbrush every photo of Kate Middleton. Right. On to the next thing. YouGov. YouGov put out this poll about Archie and Lily. Why are you putting out a poll about children, whether or not they should get their titles? Britain is a hereditary monarchy. Sorry, a constitutional monarchy, and those titles are hereditary to the children because they are born of Harry. So unless you believe that we should get rid of monarchy, then why are you debating about whether or not Harry's children should get their titles? If you don't believe that they should get their titles, okay, well then just get rid of the whole monarchy. Because why are you now suddenly changing the rules for the biracial kids? We either believe that the children should get titles because Britain is a monarchy, or you don't, and you just get rid of the monarchy. And YouGov, I believe, is actually run by, or one of the executives is a relative of Camilla. So no surprise at all that they would put this ridiculous article out. And then also on Jeremy Vine, because apparently there's nothing else going on in the United Kingdom, they also decided to have a debate about whether Archie and Lily should be invited to the coronation. They're children. If the parents are going, well, then the kids might come, or they might not. But that's down to the parents. Why are we debating this? Those children are barely walking, and they already want to create a negative narrative about them. So they're sowing the seeds already, and they're still just babies. They want to start buttering up the hate campaign early, I see. So by the time we get to the teen years, the derangers are crazy and wanting to go after these kids. It's just sick, if you ask me. Thank you everyone for being patient. Even after 456 episodes, sometimes I do make a dum-dum. Like Sadie said, honestly, I love seeing people age gracefully, men and women. There's beauty in it, yeah. Phyllis, nothing new. YouGov is owned by Camilla's son. Well, that explains it. Yeah, and they're harassing the kids. Like, leave the kids alone. Like, we don't see things like that about the Cambridge kids, and we shouldn't. We shouldn't even be talking about the children like this at all. So did you see that Piers Moron was mocking Angela Bassett? Wouldn't surprise me. He best back off of her. What is his issue with black women? Well, on the issue of Piers Morgan and black women, this popped up on my feed today. So the real Natalie Rowe, she's a bit of an expose type of personality on Twitter. She wrote this. Someone, and this is today, by the way, someone needs to ask Piers Morgan about an escort named Chanel, originally from Jamaica. It might explain his obsession on women of color. And then someone responded with the "tell me more" eyes, and then she responded with, "I know her real name, but obviously I won't tweet it." And then somebody else said, "I appreciate you protecting Chanel's privacy, and I'm happy that you confirm what I suspected for a long time." Is it completely out of whack to believe something like this? No, to me it kind of makes sense. There are men like this who fetishize women of color while at the same time being racist. Like I don't think it's particularly uncommon, and it might explain a whole lot. So I have a feeling that this is going to be the next 2 years. We're going to find out a lot about Piers Morgan. I never thought I'd see the day that Harvey Weinstein went down. And I don't care what anybody says. I knew about Harvey Weinstein for a good decade. They all knew. I never thought I'd see the day that Max Clifford went down. I knew about Max Clifford for years also. So I believe that Piers Morgan he's next. He's most definitely next. It's just a matter of time. All right, I'll get that ugly picture off of the screen. Right, something I missed from yesterday's Commonwealth service. So there were some Maori tribespeople standing outside, and they did a performance. Now, I don't know what was going on with the organizers, but for whatever reason, Camilla walked straight past them. And what was interesting is that first and foremost, Camilla was actually ahead of Charles. She was charging in front of him, which I thought that was against protocol. But the royal experts seem to pick and choose when protocol applies and to who. But if we're going by their so-called protocol, you are meant to walk behind the king. She went ahead of him. And Charles, to give him credit, actually stops to watch the performance respectfully. And even after he stops, and she sees that he stops, she still continues. So here's the video. And I just want to say also, while I found what Camilla did very disrespectful, I don't know how many times that people of color have to engage with the royals and be disrespected. Mind you, I actually think that the Commonwealth Service Day used to be called Empire Day or something. And you come all the way from New Zealand, all the way, like literally from the bottom of the planet, to the UK just to be disrespected. Just to have your sacred traditions disrespected by the royal side chick. It could never be me. Here's the video. So yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know if the video played in full. Hang on a sec. Let me play that again. Sorry, folks. Okay, sorry, it did play in full. So there you see the Māori doing their very beautiful traditional dance. And despite the fact that Charles actually does stop, Camilla just walks straight ahead. I really do think that she is running the show at this point. Right, let's go to your comments. If you just joined the chat, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, please. And that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Gwen, Camilla was scared of the crowd. Well, the signs didn't say "not my queen." They said "not my king." Although she's probably very much aware that a huge part of Charles's, not being popular is partly because of her. But they weren't really heckling her. They were heckling him more than anything. I mean, they were kind of heckling the whole ceremony. And Charles was fine to stand there and watch. So there was no reason she wouldn't have. And this isn't the first time that they've been disrespectful of Indigenous people. There was a event that they went to, I believe, this was in Canada. and they were they weren't dancing. I think they were singing some kind of traditional song and making these sounds into the microphone. My apologies, I don't know exactly what this was, but Charles and Camilla, instead of being respectful, found it absolutely hilarious. They were laughing throughout the whole thing. This is your king and queen of the UK and the Commonwealth. That they can't even just be respectful in a moment like this. What can you say? Right, let me go to your comments. Yeah, educate you. She laughed at the crowd. So did she laughed at the tribe. Yeah, they were doing a throat song, and so did Charles. Chosen to be here. She didn't want the hat to blow away. Oh, thank you so much. Like side for the super sticker, much appreciated. Rahini, you missed the part about Piers Morgan. You need to rewind. Someone explain in the chat what Rahini missed. Yes, Ebony, the disrespect. JK, it looks like Camilla was afraid of being swept away by the wind or her mask. Hair, Lord knows what blowing away. Who knows? Yeah. I'm sorry, you all. I really am, but I just want one tomato to make contact. Just one. Oh god, no, we do not endorse tomato throwing, egg throwing, or tampon throwing. Especially, I do not endorse tampon throwing. That is such a waste of resources. And please, no one try any funny stuff during the coronation. Don't want to get anyone getting swiped with a sniper bullet, please. We want to get through this alive and not covered by eggs. Thank you so much. Yeah, Rahini, start about 7 minutes in. Because Anne was being silly and didn't realize her mic was off. Yes, Miss P talks. If she can do that in public, what's going on behind the scenes? Anyway, in other royal news, the girls are fighting everyone. So this is happening. Richard Palmolive, was getting into it with royalist fans on Twitter today, and he may have really pissed them off. So he said, Twitter is such a toxic platform that is damaging democracy with anonymous accounts spouting nonsense. If you look at the message and what I wrote as an intro to a news feature, it is spot on. And if you can't see then I suggest your comprehensive skills aren't up to match. Wow. A royal reporter talking about comprehensive skills, really? And so Royal Instablog responded by saying, it's you and your colleagues that are damaging democracy with your never-ending lies. You lied and misquoted Prince William during his to the Ukraine Center last year. The hate you sent his way set the very tone for the Caribbean tour. So she's referring to the way Richard Palmer misquoted William when he said, I think it was something along the lines of, a war was not normal to Europe or something like that. Or Europe hardly ever sees war. And then she goes on to say the lies and misinformation about the Duchess of Edinburgh title. The title announcement was going to come out on his birthday. Sorry, the comment cuts there. So I can't see what else she said. But Palmer responded to another comment the same Twitter person made, saying this is why we shouldn't I guess follow the reporters, false propaganda. So they've only just realized that the royal reporters are giving false propaganda. Now that it's making the other royals look bad. Not for the last 6 years that they were making up BS about Harry and Meghan. She said last week, Royal Reporter labelled the King's reign as British activist monarchy, saying his Commonwealth message will be about fighting climate change. Meanwhile, the King's message was not out. He twisted the Prince of Wales words last year. And then Richard Palmer responded by saying, "I'm sorry, I'm not wasting any more of my time today on mentally ill people." To which a royalist responded, "This is horrific. He said this to a royalist and not a Sussex Squad member." And then someone responded by saying, "You think that is wrong to say about a royalist, but not about the squaddies. It's wrong, period. You don't just call somebody mentally ill because they disagree with you." And to be fair, the royalist wasn't lying. It's just hilarious that she's only just realized who the royal rota is. And the nerve of Richard Palmer to say that Twitter is damaging democracy when he's literally an agent of propaganda. That's literally his job. We don't have a fair and open press when it comes to the royals. It's all controlled. On to your comments. Yeah, the Rangers aren't the brightest bulbs. They really are not. Right. Was there something else that I was going to mention? Yes. This. So Republic, which is the anti-monarchy group in the UK, is getting a lot of attention. A lot. They've been on Sky News, they're on Good Morning America. They've been in all of the mainstream papers. To the point where I'm quite surprised at how much coverage they're getting. And I put it out there on Twitter. Has anybody else seen any other groups get as much attention as Republic? And are there any other groups protesting? And then Facts and 2 Cents actually responded by saying, "Interesting point. No other anti-monarchy group but them. Very good question as to why that is." And I responded by saying, "I don't want to go too far down the conspiracy rabbit hole, but I needed to make this point because controlled opposition is a thing. I'm not accusing them of that. And let the record show I'm not accusing them of that. But does everyone kind of see where I'm coming from? Why I just find it weird that all of a sudden they're getting like blanket coverage. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to make it look like they're being fair. But I would like, if there's anyone from the squad who would actually like to go to a Republic protest and just be completely independent, don't tell them that you're a squaddie, and just go and talk to them, see what they're about. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit suspicious of Republic because there have been a couple of times where they've been very shady towards Harry and Meghan, even after they stepped down as working royals. So they're not taking taxpayer money anymore, but there have been times where they have been shady. They've also done a lot of great work. I'm not taking that away from them, and they are the most visible opposition to the royals right now. But I'm just having a little bit of healthy suspicion. That's all. If anybody has any interesting theories, you can let me know. Sharpie never trusted Republic. Yeah, can you let me know why? Like, does anyone else have some suspicions? Rahini, if the monarchy are mad about the coverage, wait till after the coronation where they're going to need a scapegoat. Exactly. I feel like they're going to come for Kitty full throttle. Well, like I said, I don't wish bad on anyone, even the worst. But it does seem to me like that you are seeing the beginning of the royal fold trying to push Kate. I'm just going to put it out today. This March 14th, 2023. We'll come back to this day. If I'm right, I believe we're seeing the beginnings of a campaign to push out Kate. I really do. That's just my honest opinion. If anybody disagrees with me or has anything to add to that, you let me know. But it's just becoming more and more obvious. Vanessa said on Twitter, again, Harry and Meghan, I implore you to stay home and skip the coronation. Let us enjoy the dragging of tampon and Seabiscuit with no distraction and interruption. I want this to be us the entire time. Indeed. And with that, I'm going to end the podcast. We'll go to your comments. I think Baron's on at the moment, so we can go over and watch Baron. But thank you as always, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your coffees and your cash app. Thank you, Compton Cali Gal. Whew, tongue twister. And yes, please, if you do want to donate, obviously, donate in a way that is most convenient to you. But the reason I have so many options is because, YouTube takes 30% of all the revenue, and it's just, I think for the work that we do as content creators, we should, get that money ourselves. So thank you as always for those of you who donate. Much appreciated. Right. Ebony, you said many people and countries don't want KC as their monarch and have been sick of the royal family for a while. Yeah, you're seeing that. Rahini, it might even be a setup to bring them into the spotlight and then destroy or blame the Republic. Yes. Yeah. It could be that also. Like they're interviewing them and they're giving them all of this attention, and then they do a bait and switch. And then maybe they start digging into the personal lives of people that, have been protesting or the guy that's running it. Or they blame them for everything. That's true, Rahini. Jalen, I think Republic is all right. They just need to support Harry and Meghan more. Well, they're not Sussex Squad, right? They are purely anti-monarchy. So I don't expect them to support Harry and Meghan. I just think that they should keep them out their mouths. Know what I mean? Marina, you said they allow them to have the Not My King placards. The last time when the real protesters were getting arrested. Yeah, that's another thing that I find really weird. You've had people who were holding up plain pieces of paper getting arrested. People who were calling Andrew a nonce getting arrested. But this group with their Who's placards not getting arrested? Like, do you remember during the Queen's funeral, there were people who showed up with huge sheets of, like, blank sheets to protest. And it was like the police were all over them. So, I don't know. I think it's good to have a healthy suspicion. Gail Lewis, is Patreon YouTube? If so, I'll switch another method. I don't have a Patreon, but no, Patreon is not YouTube. I have a Cash App, a PayPal, a Buy Me a Coffee. That's what I have. I think Baron might have a Patreon, but I don't have one. Only because I just haven't set it up yet. If you guys want me to set up a Patreon, I will. Let me know. Mariam, is it possible that they have a permit to protest and others did not? That is a good point. But at the same time, also, if you're just one or two people and you're just holding up a blank sign, that's a bit much to get a permit to protest, right? Because I thought maybe you needed a permit if you had a really big crowd. Veronica, yes, I wondered about the place cards that were tackling people and arresting. Yeah. Thank you so much, Cookies and Cream, for reminding everyone to stay safe, pray, and don't peg, and hydrate. Lavender, this looks like a well-organized group. Who's behind them? I think the main guy is called Graham something. All right, Cookies and Cream, I'll give you the last word of the day. Stay safe, pray, don't peg, and hydrate. Indeed. I shall see you all tomorrow. Ciao. Go over to Barron's.
I know you don't mean to, can be friends when you're not so fragile.